Hello, everyone. My name is Ngosa, and I'm here to host you on the My Christian podcast. On today's show, I have with me a lovely Ness all the way from Zambia. Yay! Hi, Wamundila.
Hello.
To My Christian podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
I'm
having me.
You're very welcome. And I'm very grateful that you accepted to come on the podcast and just share your insights on a glimpse of life in the UK as a newcomer. And it's not easy to just give your life out there to talk about the challenges that you're experiencing, your fears and everything. But here you are, you accepted, and I'm more than glad that you did. I'm very excited to get to know what it is that you have to give out to the people out there. Hello, this is My Christian Podcast with me, your host, Ngosa. I'm a teacher by profession. This is our very first episode of My Christian Journey. We're going to journey on this together as we're going to be looking at Christian lifestyle and basically living life out there wherever you are as a child of God. On this very podcast, I have Wamundila, who is a nurse in the UK. And today we look at how challenging life has been for her and the expectations that she had when she came to the UK, as well as how she is settling in and how she's managing. Wamundila, to begin with, just give a brief introduction about yourself.
Okay, thank you. Just like she mentioned already, my name is Wamundila, and is currently practicing and working in the United Kingdom. And yeah, I was a nurse in Zambia for more than 6 years before I migrated to the UK. Yeah, so at the moment, I've been in the UK for more than a year now. I came here in, I think, July 2022. And yeah, I think that's me. I'm a YouTuber, I'm a vlogger, I'm everything. I think most of you people would have watched me already on certain of these, on some of these social platforms. Yeah. So that's me.
They're just called Wamundila, not so.
Yes, you can call me Wamundira, but I've got plenty of names. I've
Yes,
got plenty of names. So yes, my real names are Wabe Wamundila, and that's a Lozi name. And I'm sure you know western part of Zambia where Lozi is. Wabe Wamundila, and my Christian name is Precious. Yeah. So you can find me. Sometimes I'll use Precious. Sometimes I'll use Wabe Wamundila, whichever suits best for you. It's fine. Yeah.
It's like me. Sometimes people wonder why am I called Elizabeth? That's my Christian name. In fact, I've got two Christian names: Elizabeth,
Oh,
Deborah. Elizabeth,
you are blessed.
Deborah. I've got so many names. Sometimes people don't even know what to call me by. But here we are. So, Wamundila, back in Zambia, I know there is what they call registered nurse and the enrolled nurses.
Yeah.
Which one are you? Are you a registered nurse or an enrolled nurse or a midwife? Which one are you?
No, no, I am a registered adult nurse, general nurse. Yeah, so that simply means a diploma in general nursing. Yeah, and yeah, that's me.
Um, to begin with, about your life in the UK, you said that you just recently came into the UK. What is the one thing that struck you about the UK? Something that just like you were just marveled, like coming from our culture back home, like we've been listening to people talking about, the English people, the British, the what, you know what I mean? And then you come here, there should be something that just struck you, something different, something, there's just something that you probably say, there's this thing. Like, I'll tell you something about something that struck me when I just came to the UK.
Mm.
I was working, I'm a carer. I'm working as a carer at the moment, yeah.
Okay.
And I was working with my colleagues, and one of my colleagues hit themselves into the wall. And I said, "Oh, sorry, I was trying to I was trying to be, so nice. And then she was like, don't be stupid. It's not your fault. I've just, I was like, what do you mean? Back home, this back home, this is called English manners. She said, no, being stupid. It's not because I hit myself. So just tell me to be extra careful. So what is that one thing that struck you personally as Wamundila? Welcome to the UK.
Honestly, there are so many things I cannot even just point at one. There's so many things like culture, just like you've said. I think that one is one of their culture. It's completely different. The way we conduct ourselves, how we behave in certain situations is completely different. Their food, the environment, the language, everything is just so different. Like, it really struck me. Like, I think I never prepared myself very well for that. Yeah, so like you said, culture, it's part of it. Like you said, you cannot use words like "I'm sorry" if you've not really done something wrong. Everyone will be like, why are you apologizing? It's not your fault. You're not supposed to say that. And here they abuse the word "bless you" a lot. Abuse the word "bless you." Like, what I'm supposed to say when someone is injured or has fallen, I'm just supposed to say, "Oh, bless you," or "be careful," or something like that. All those things. There are a lot of differences, honestly. And other than culture, that is different. Food is completely different. Food in the UK is bland. I think that topic for food will come later on, but it was a shock for me. Especially food, honestly, food. For the culture, when I was coming here, I was told, expect to hear people keep time, expect the language is different, and all those things. So it struck me, but not that much, but their food. All along, I just used to think food is food. Chicken is chicken. Fish is
meat
fish.
Is meat.
Meat is meat, honestly. And only to find that the chicken here is completely different from the chicken back home. You can't even compare the taste. In my email, they said, be prepared. The food in the UK is bland. Carry the spices that you like. But I was like, what do they mean? Maybe they think I use a lot of spice. But as Zambia, we don't use a lot of spice back home.
Spices.
Yeah, we use, but not much as compared to other nations. So honestly, I think the topic of food needs its own period, because I've got plenty of things to talk about food. Yeah, so there are so many things that really struck me in terms of everything is different. Yeah.
What you have said is also a shock in itself. Like, it's something that people who are coming here should really expect. That food is totally different here. Like, the taste of the food that we're used to is just totally different. So it is something that has struck you. And how have you adapted to the food in England? How have you just adapted, or your taste buds have just suddenly just adjusted to them, or did you did you have to carry some foods from home when you came?
Yeah, so you know what they say, we all learn in interviews that I can easily adapt. that catches up with us. That statement catches up with us. So yeah, I just had to actually learn to adapt. But the first few months were really tough for me, because I expected that I'll go in Tesco in their supermarkets and just get some chicken, cook. And actually, their food here is quite cheaper compared to back home. But the food you buy and cook it does not taste anything. It really took me weeks to get used to it. It took me some few weeks for me to get used to it. But the best how I managed to actually survive and get used to it is there are some African stores. You would call them African stores, but they're Afro-Caribbean stores. Yeah, so in those stores, you find most of their food is closer to home, much, much closer to home.
Millie meal.
That's how you find the millie meal. So if you're coming here for the first time and you're from Africa, you're wondering, how am I going to live without millie meal? Don't worry, you will find your millie meal. I was so happy when I found what do they call it again? Is it Isiwa? I think I've forgotten what they call it here, the millie meal. I was very happy to find it. So yeah, you will find them. So I actually tried to
Meals, yeah.
to go to those Afro-Caribbean stores, and that's where I find almost all the things that are closer to home. Though they are a bit expensive when you buy from them compared to the British supermarkets.
To the British supermarkets. Yes, that's very true. Yeah.
Because of that, you really have to see, saving money and everything else. So you have to weigh yourself and slowly start to begin to adjust, to adapt the food here. If you were not using spices, start learning how to use spices and the food can be tasty. Otherwise, honestly, you cannot completely depend on Afro-Caribbean food. It's expensive.
It's very
So
expensive.
that's
Yeah.
how you adapt to food. That's how you adapt to food. You have to learn. You are here to stay. You just have to adapt.
Thank you. All right. So, how did you find yourself here, Wamundila? Did you just come? Did you just have to apply? Because, of course, I know you are a nurse, and nurses, they
I
are on
just flew on.
demand.
I just flew using my grandpa's broom. Joking. Yeah.
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 So,
All right. So
did you just come directly as a nurse, or did you have to apply as a carer? And did you have to use somebody? Did you know anyone? Was it a connection that you had? You know, because Zambia, we have this thing of I need a
connection.
connection to the UK. You know, did you have
Connection.
a connection, or did you just go on the government Gov UK website and just search for companies that are hiring nurses in the UK? How did you find yourself here?
So yeah, I'll start with my dream for the UK. I started having ideas of coming to work in the UK. I think I was in my third year in nursing school because, in nursing school, you chat, you sit around with your friends and your colleagues, and they'll be saying, no, me, I want to go and work in the UK. I've heard so-and-so is working in the UK. No, actually, they've built mansions, they are nurses in the UK. So that desire came. But unfortunately, as you all know, as some of you might know, the journey for UK is not an easy one because it's a bit expensive. So it took time for my journey to really come to a success. So then in 2018, I had a friend who finally managed to relocate to come here to the UK. I won't mention her name, but she really inspired me because we're in the same class, and when we completed and everything, how she managed to migrate. And my God, I would see her post her pictures and everything. That motivated me. It motivated me a lot. But yeah, still more, I was unable to even contact her to try and find out how she did it and everything. But Facebook, guys, my people out there watching, please utilize online platforms.
Yes.
Utilize Facebook, utilize YouTube, utilize even just Google itself. I know in Zambia it's very difficult to believe what you see online because we are still not used to online stuff, and we are
Yeah.
also still not used to we think everything online is scamming, but honestly Facebook and YouTube as well as Google helped. So after I saw that my friend has relocated to the United Kingdom, I started researching about it and started researching what's the process. I remember contacting the MMA on Facebook and they told me what to do. So I started doing all that research on my own. That is in 2018. All right. And yeah, after I did all the research and everything, from there, I think that's when I managed to do the exams that I needed. So I came here as a nurse. Yeah, just from the start.
So, what were the requirements that you had to put in place? I know when I was coming here, I needed to write the IELTS exam, and I needed to do a TB test. I also needed to do a police clearance. And the time that I was doing all these things, I think I roughly spent about 10,000 kwacha only just for the
Honestly, I can tell you the process is expensive. It is expensive. So for me, for nurses, it's not just those exams that you've mentioned. Yes, the English language is needed, but excuse me, you also need to register with a Nursing and Midwifery Council over here in the United Kingdom. I believe most nurses who watch this video know that in Zambia, or in whichever country you're going to watch from, you've got a council that you're affiliated with, all right? So for you
Yes.
to start practicing here in the UK, you need to be registered with them. So you need to start the application of, you need to start the procedure of applying with them to be registered in their register. Okay, so there are some exams that you need to do. The first one is CBT, that's called a computer-based test. So in short, all the exams are called competence tests, because there are two, okay? There is a computer-based one and there is an OSCE. I think we all know what OSCE is. If you're in this, you've passed through that. It's OSCE, it's practical, it's hands-on. Yeah, so this first exam, the computer-based one, you do it in your country, and once you've passed that exam, then you need to start the procedure to register with them. Then the OSCE, you finally come and do it when you come here. So that's what happened. So I first started with the English language, like she mentioned IELTS, but there are two types of English language that you can do. There is OET and there is IELTS. For the OET, is more of the English, like professional English, medical terms. Okay, it's professional, it's aligned with
Say
your
that again.
profession. The
Say that again.
OET,
OET. Yeah.
the OET is it's more professional language. It's aligned with your profession, okay? So there'll be more of medical terms in there and everything. I didn't do OET myself. I did IELTS, which is the English, International English Language Test. That's the one I did. And for nurses, you need to do the academic one, either the UKVI or just standard academic, as long as it has to be academic. So I sat for that exam. My first attempt was in 2019, but it didn't go well. I didn't do well in the writing. All right. So that's how I had to stay. I actually almost lost hope.
It
But
has four parts, right?
yeah,
The
it
IELTS exam. It has the writing, is it the oral?
the writing, the reading, the listening, and the speaking.
Yes, the speaking, yes.
So yeah, I didn't do well in the writing part. That was in 2019, and I actually lost hope. Before I go any further, please know that this process, when you're starting it, you really need to put your God first. I know we need to put God first in everything we do, like even just in our normal day-to-day activities. But trust me, in this one, you really have to put God, because it's not just about the money, but the process itself is complicated. Every
step frustrating. That's the thing.
Yes, it can be very frustrating, frustrating. And sometimes you might put goals to say, maybe by December or by this time I need to be in the United Kingdom. Trust me, that time frame you've put, you might not even be able to travel at that time. So just put God first. So I did that first exam, the first attempt in 2019, but I did not do well. So I actually lost hope because money was not there. You and me know the salaries in Zambia. You are not able to, the salary itself cannot pay for that IELTS exam, is way less. And then you have to sit for that exam. So I didn't attempt for it again. I actually quitted, like I quit. But my husband kept on forcing me, like kept on reminding me, your dream. And yeah, finally, then I kept it right again in 2022 and I passed this time around. And yeah, that's it. So after you do your English language test, the reason why you start with the English language test is because it's the tough one. The computer-based test one is very simple, straightforward. You will pass. Yes, I know there are few people who fail it, but I think it's just a minority of it, maybe 1%, just 1% of a group of people that fail it. But if you really
and they'll be telling you that, and they'll be telling you that the exam is hard. The exam, you should go there knowing what exactly it is you want. Don't listen to what others are telling you. Just because something is difficult for somebody, it doesn't mean that it will be difficult for you. So you go there knowing to say, okay, I've decided to attempt the IELTS exam, the English language exam. Let me try my level best to just do this. And like you have said, by putting God first, because surely it's Him that has put that idea of you even relocating in your mind, not so.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so no matter how hard it is, IELTS, no matter how hard the English language test will be, please just face it. Face it. Put in your own. Study, practice, practice, and practice. And believe me, one day, just one day, you're going to clear it. So just like I cleared it, I failed the first attempt. And you never know. Sometimes exams, you know how exams are. At times, this year it might be easier. The next one, it might be tougher. And it depends. You don't know. Maybe you on your first attempt, it might be a little bit easier. So you still, even if it's tough, just face it. You've already passed through a lot of exams for you to be where you are today. So you definitely are able to face in whatever comes your way. So yeah, after that one, then you do the computer-based test, which I've said is very simple. That one you're just going to clear within a short period of time. After that, you do the processes that are needed, like a police certificate, that one. But you have to be very careful with certain processes, like certain things that you need to do, like the certificates, the police certificate, the TB certificate, these they expire. And you know, Zambia being on the red list nowadays, it takes a bit of time for you to really find employment. So don't rush to do the certificates that expire within a short period of time. Yeah, so do those that have got a longer period of time to expire first. So yeah, that's it. After you do the TB test, and then I started applying online. But you know, at the time when I was applying myself, we had agents at that time. We had agents who could help us. We had lots of them. But at the moment, for Zambia or any other country that is on the red list, you can't use the agents. You just have to apply, sorry, pardon my English. You just have to apply directly yourself to the employers, okay? Directly to the employers, either through track.com, okay? NHS, if you need to come in NHS, use track. Trust me, it's tough. Sorry, I might be going away from my question, but I want to encourage someone out there. It might be tough at the moment because Zambia is on the red list. But try to apply as much as possible. I have friends who've applied to about 500 employers on track, okay?
500, wow.
Exactly. 500. And after 500, that's when they got 2 interviews from that. And now they have a job offer. Yes, just now in the red list era, they have gotten a job interview. And another one, the day I was traveling back from home, I traveled with another one who has also been recruited just now in the red list era. So don't mind about the issue of red list. Please apply. It just needs you to apply. I know as Zambians, we can be a bit lazy sometimes, because even me, I don't think I can manage to read that 500. But if you know what you're looking for,
I would give up on 3.
Don't give up on 3. You just see, they'll just apply to 10 people and they'll utter, we're not applying, we're not recruiting from red list, we're not recruiting from red list. I've got a friend who just gave up, was like, I'm just receiving emails of red list. I was like, how many did you apply? 10 of them. It's just 10 now. Those Nigerians you're pointing at, ask them how many they've applied to.
Oh, yes.
Ask them how many they've applied to. I've got a lot of Nigerian friends here, because as Zambians, we like pointing at Nigerians. They're on red list, but they're going because connections. The UK doesn't have connections, guys. If you use connections in UK, you're just putting yourself at risk, as in at huge risk, because everything can be done once you reach here. They get your papers and they deport you back home. So better you follow the normal procedure and apply. If those connections, I would have brought my entire clan. Yeah, so just apply. Don't give up.
That's true. That's very true. You know, I keep getting messages in my inbox on Messenger, people saying, please connect me. I'm like, how am I going to connect you? I don't know. Just apply. Go to the Gov UK website and just apply, you know. But people don't want to believe that you just need to apply. They believe that you need to have a specific connection. I think it's also about our culture, you know, like we are used to having, for you to get a job, maybe you need to have a car.
Exactly. That's part of culture. We're used to that.
Yeah.
We're used to that. We're used to connections. Everything is connections. Oh my God. Africa.
Yeah. So now that you are here, what are some of the challenges that you have experienced adapting to the 12-hour shift?
Adaptation in terms of working, honestly. For me, I would say it was not really a shock working 12 hours, because before I came in, yes, I was working in government, but I was also doing some part-time somewhere where I was working for 12 hours. But actually, what really shocked me was the working culture itself. What I expected to do in the wards compared to back home. And honestly, that 12 hours looked like 24 hours. That 12 hours shift looked like it's a 24-hour shift without break. My Lord, the work is just too much. I'm not saying this to scare someone out there, but it can really be stressful in the beginning. Please note, in the beginning, with time you get used.
Yes.
I'm slowly getting used to it. There's a lot involved. If you're here, you're going to be taking care of 6 patients. Don't think it's a job. Don't think it's an easy job. Because even if it's 6 patients, the work that you're expected to do on the 6 patients, you cannot compare it with the work you were doing, or I was doing in Zambia, taking care of more than 30 people. Okay, so yeah, it was really a shock. Like there is a lot of standing. I don't know of NHS, I don't know of care homes and other places, but I'm in the NHS. There is a lot of standing, there's a lot of moving up and down, up and about, there's a lot of running around and everything like that. Like you really have to be on your legs. The stress is too much. So the coping mechanisms that I adapted for me is of course, make sure that you exercise, my people. I used to be very tired. My legs used to be very painful. Every time I go back home, my legs are in pain. My body is in pain. But ever since I started going to the gym, exercising here and there, trust me, I'm no longer feeling that tiresomeness in my body. Physically, I'm no longer feeling the pain. My muscles no longer ache the way they used to ache before. But
So
spiritually
physical
and
fitness,
mentally, physical fitness is really important. Then mentally and spiritually, you also need to involve yourself out there. I'm a Christian, so I made sure that I found my church. Locate your church, my people. If you are in one of these Pentecostal churches, you'll be okay, because I think you're going to find your church very near. Like you're not even going to pass through a lot of struggle. But if you are someone who goes to an Adventist like me, you're someone who goes to New Apostolic churches and all those other unique churches that are not like everywhere, anywhere, it's going to be a bit of it's going to take you a bit of time for you to locate your church, but try as much as possible to locate it. Within the first 6 months, it was tough, because I think no, not 6 months, 4 months. I couldn't locate my church in 4 months. I wasn't going to church for 4 months, and it was draining. Let me tell you, life in the UK, social life in the UK can be really boring, especially if you are used to a large circle. Okay.
Tell me about it. I thought I was going crazy, because the only thing that I was doing is just work, 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 and shift. My life was like, it's put on it's scheduled.
Like
my
a
life
robot.
was scheduled.
Like
Yes,
a robot.
I have to be at work
And
for this.
AI.
There's nothing like me having control over my days, because at that time, you are new, you've just come, you're scared of, maybe if I say this to my employer, you know what I mean? So you're really right on that one. It can really, really be draining.
So it can be stressful. So physical stress, you've dealt with this, you've dealt with it by having physical fitness, like maybe exercise, running, jogging, whatever, all those things.
Or joining the gym.
Then mental health. This one, you have to deal with it by finding your church, locate your church, because the first thing that you're going to have, for you to even have a social circle. You need to locate your church, because at your church is where you will meet people that you associate with. It's where you meet people that you'll be chatting with. You will call your family and everything like that. So locate your church near you if you're a Christian. If you're not a Christian, maybe you're an atheist or something, it's really going to be difficult, because I mean, yeah. So, but the only places that you can have, maybe if you're an atheist or something who is not into Christian and everything, I don't know, go to clubs or whatever it is. I don't know. I can't really say, because I'm not a club person. I don't go to clubs. I can't. So because of that, I'm always in my house and work. I'm an AI, just like she said, robot. 6 hours, go to work.
Go to work.
10 p.m. sleep. 6 hours work. No social life, no one to talk to. Look, back home, you just step out, you find a lot of people, you hear a lot of radios. You will not hear a radio here, let me tell you. Maybe if you're in big cities, but here where I am, you are not going to hear a radio. You are not going to see anyone playing music, moving around and about everyone. You are not going to see anything. I appreciated
just meet people and you just start chatting on the street. You know what I mean?
You are not going to find all those things. So because of that, your social life will completely be cut off. You are all by yourself. You are alone. You've got no one to talk to. That's why it's important, if you have got your church near you, please go to church. You have people to talk to. Go to talk to God as well. Of course, you're not just going there for God, but you're also going there for the people. Community, it's important to talk to
as
someone.
Africans, that's true. You know, the African setup, we are so used to community life. And to tell you the truth, I nearly had a mental breakdown, because I couldn't believe that my life just became centered on work. It was just about work. But like you have said, after I discovered my church, I found a church near me, and I started, engaging work, church, church. It became a whole lot. Yes, it dawned on me. it became a whole lot easier, for me, because now I was I had not only work to think of, but I also had church to think of, because when I go into a shop, the only thing that I could think of was getting outfits that I can wear when going for work, a uniform. That's all. I go into this shop, I'm just thinking of a black trousers and a black shirt.
Especially if you come in the winter where no one goes out, you can't even go outside yourself. It's cold. It's just in your doors. You can run mad. I almost ran mad. For the first time I experienced mental stress. I'm telling you, I never used to think that thing is very true. I almost went into depression. So other than church, also find your community, okay? I found my Zambian community. Oh, those people made my life easy. I'm telling you, bless them. Bless my aunties. Bless all those people, all those Zambian people I found here. They saved me from mental depression, mental breakdown. They really saved me. So find your community, okay? It's very important around you, even just one person. If you don't, even the people at work, fine. Do you know anyone who is Zambian, or do you know anyone who is Nigerian, wherever you're coming from? Do you know anyone? Involve yourself in that circle. So at least now when they have functions, you go and meet. Like here where I am, we do meet. So like I said, I'm going somewhere just now when this meeting is done. It's Zambians here meeting, At least when you're off, especially in the beginning, if you're in NHS, you're perhaps going to be working 3 days in a week, which means you've got 4 days of rest. So that 4 days, what are you doing in the 4 days? Okay, what are you going to do? Yes, you will sleep because you're tired, but can you sleep? Like, how many hours is that? 24 multiplied by 4. That's a lot. You can't sleep throughout that time. So if you have a social circle, you find yourself at church, you find yourself at your community, your country community, whatever you call them, at least it gives you some time, a bit of not being alone. You are with people communicating. Being alone is not for me. And even movies, honestly, I was failing. I would go through Netflix, I would go through all those things. I'm not finding movies. I'm not finding anything that was interesting me. My children are not here. My family are not here. So all that shock of finding myself alone, that's what they call homesickness. You start having homesickness because now you're completely in a new environment with different values. You go outside, you'll be in the bus, you'll all be by yourself. No one will even come to sit by, closer to you. And those people at work, let me tell you, people at work, especially in the beginning, Those people you work with, they are not your friends. Here is where I learned to say a workmate is not your friend.
Is
Back
a
home,
workmate.
yeah, back home I'll say every workmate is my friend. Hi, that one is my friend, we work together. No, that one is my friend, we work together. Here it's not everyone you work with who is your friend. Because here all the people you work with are just your colleagues, are just your workmates. Okay, they are not your acquaintances or whatever words you want to use. I honestly am learning English.
when you when you get to the
someone,
office, it's good
just
morning.
aside, someone said,
and it's work.
someone said, I hope you don't use laws there. My God, I'm still learning. The English is also another issue. So yes, the people that you work with at work are not your friends. Sometimes I used to be very shocked. Let me tell you, it's part of their culture. Someone I know, we worked together in the ward. Okay, we were working together. The following day I meet them on the street. They can't even say hi to me. They can't. They're not even, it's rare you find someone from work who say, hi, hello. Some of it just say, you meet on the street to be just, hi, off they go. But if
they would just look at you and they pass,
in the past,
Yeah.
But home, someone you work with, you meet them you even give yourself hugs, you even chat, you maybe even move together or something. But here is completely different. So because of that, you'll find that you'll be all by yourself. You need someone close to you, at least someone to chat with. The people back home, tell them the real situation so that they help you. I've got one friend who stood by me throughout the year that I was really alone. Aside from my husband and my children, this friend of mine stood by me, like, would talk for hours. Okay, at least it felt like I have someone to talk to. We'll talk for hours. Sometimes you don't even have what to talk to. Talk to your people back home. Explain to them the situation. I'm bored here, and I'll have mental breakdown if I don't speak to anyone. I'm all by myself. I'll die. I'll die. Find someone to talk to. Find some. Honestly, that's the way it is. Find someone. Otherwise, that's the only way you can deal with your mental stress. Relax. Sometimes take yourself out. Also,
yes,
don't
very important. Yeah.
Take yourself out. It's their culture
Just
here that you always have to go for holiday. You always have to go for holiday. If you have chance, go for holiday. Prepare it. It's part of your mental health to relax your mental.
To relax
mental stress.
yourself. Yeah. That's really informative. Thank you very much. One more thing. Let's talk about apart from everything that we have been discussing, for someone out there who is coming to England for the very first time, before you settled down and started doing all these things, registering with the gym and everything, what are the basic things that one needs to do as soon as they arrive in England? What are the basic things, like basic things that one needs to do?
Of course, you are a foreigner, you are coming to a new land, you need papers. So the papers I'm talking about here is the BRP. So I don't know if nowadays when things are going to go online since starting of 2024, but before 2024, every time you reach the country, collect your BRP. So after you collect your BRP, open the bank account. Okay, you need to open the bank account, of course, so that your employer can be giving you money from that account. They can't use your home country account.
They don't.
So yes, open the bank account, then register yourself with the GP, because oh my God, over here everything is appointments.
You just can't go to the hospital and say I'm sick.
Everything. You can't just wake up and say, let me go to my GP. The GP is more like a clinic back home. You can't just wake up and go to the GP. Unless A&E, of course, an emergency and whatever. Those emergencies, don't worry. If it's an emergency, you're fine. But if it's something that is not emergency, you can't rush to the hospital. You have to pass through the GP. So you have to register yourself. If you're not registered, you can't go to any GP and say, I'm here, attend to me. Okay? So register with the GP. Then, of course, what else? Locate your church, locate your people.
Collecting BRP, opening an online, opening an account. The account can be online. When I came myself, I opened an account with Monzo. There's an online bank, Monzo, and Revolut as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can open physical bank accounts with
Like Barclays,
yes, Nest,
Lloyd's
yes,
Bank,
Lloyd's
all those
Bank.
things.
Yes, I'm with
I
Lloyd's
chose
Bank as
Barclays because I knew Barclays from home.
Barclays from home.
I knew Barclays
Yeah.
from home. I said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to the bank I know. That's what, yeah.
I went for the King's Bank, Lloyd's Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, but another thing is that try to search for accommodation. Okay. I know your employer, when you're coming here, you might have been given you might be offered accommodation perhaps for a certain period of time. For my employer offered me 3 months accommodation. That was paid for by the employer. But you might think that 3 months is big. You will relax, sit down and say, I'll search accommodation, maybe 2 weeks. Back home today, I want to shift. I'll just go and find accommodation the same day and shift the same day if I want. But here you can't. It's a process. A huge process for that matter. It's not easy. That's why maybe some of those who are following me would not have been posting, oh, I found the house, I was celebrating, I found the house. It's worth celebration. Here, finding house is worth celebration than back home.
Yeah.
So yes, start searching for houses. Where you can search for houses with lots of agents and lettings, like the Heart, like the Martins. I don't know of your area, but those are some of them that are found here. But you can also use Spare Room. You can use which one? I've forgotten. Spare Room.
Those are basically the ones that I
Zoopla.
was using. Zoopla, yes.
Zoopla. There's Open Rent. Trust me, use Open Rent if you want a bit quicker one.
But yeah, because it deals directly with is it the landlords? Open
Yes,
Rent?
that one deals directly with landlords, but Open Rent is a part of that program. Yeah. So yes, so Open Rent is much better. It's much quicker, I think, for me. If you need a house that you need to shift within a month or so, use Open Rent. But if you need a house that need to shift maybe more than a month from now, then you can use these others like the Hearts, the Martins, the whatever. There are so many of them. Zoopla, Roommate, or whatever. Or even just on Google, you can just Google and then also go on Facebook Market as well. Facebook Market, they do advertise everything that you need, everything, whether house, furniture, or whatever it is. So you can use even Facebook Market as well.
Oh,
then
talking
also
about Facebook Market, sorry to cut you short. Talking about Facebook Market, people just need to be aware that even here you can easily be scammed.
Yeah,
you can easily be scammed. So you have to, somebody would say, no, deposit so much money. You don't just be in a rush because you really need a house. You decide to deposit so much money before you even see the house, that no, I'll send you the, I know of somebody who sent money and they were expecting keys to be sent via an envelope, like via mail. I said, there's no way, you've just been scammed. You can't be waiting for house keys. You haven't been to the house. I mean, even if you are desperate, you can't do that. Just be aware that Facebook Market, you definitely find scammers there as well.
Yeah. So with Facebook Market, don't pay to anyone until you see it. Okay, like most of the time, actually, even the genuine ones, even when they are selling something, they'll tell you to say, we pay when we deliver. Whatever it is they are selling, they'll pay when they deliver. You don't pay before they deliver on Facebook Market. But of course, on sites like Amazon and these other things, whenever they're selling anything, them you pay and then they'll ship to you. But Facebook Market, most of them, they'll tell you, you pay when they deliver. Okay, Facebook Market is a bit of, it's a bit risky compared to Amazon, eBay, and TikTok.
And eBay,
all these other places you can buy, you're okay. I've never been heard of anything or anyone who's been scammed on these other sites. But Facebook Market, of course, you have to be very careful. But this is a house, please don't pay online. Go to the person, agree, do the paperwork and everything.
Yeah.
Payment comes at the end when you've already done the paperwork. And by the way, no one can want you to go in their house without them requesting for a lot of information from you. It's hectic finding a house here, guys. It's like searching for employment all over again.
Yeah.
It's like searching for employment all over again, especially if you need a bigger house. So going to searching for accommodation, like I said. So when you just reach, we said open bank account or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Get a contract SIM card. Get a SIM card on contract. Okay, so that you'll be paying monthly. That way your credit score will go, what we call a credit score over here. It can start building slowly, because when you start searching for accommodation, they would need a good credit score.
True.
Unfortunately, it's what it is. And now imagine you've just come in the country. How is your credit score going to be up? And then they expect your credit score to be up. So that's why it's a bit tricky. So if you're looking for bigger house, bigger apartment, when you come here, please start building your credit score the day you just enter UK. Get SIM card on credit, on
contract.
wait again.
Yeah.
Contract, start paying it slowly. Just that same £15 that you'll be paying every month will build your credit score slowly. If you want, after some time, get a credit card. Get a credit card with any whatever of your choice, a bank, or there are so many sites that are offering credit cards. Get the credit cards as well. That will also build your credit score. One thing that I haven't done yet, that I'm yet to do, because that also would help, is registering to vote. Register to vote.
As
that
a
will
voter.
also help. As a
I
voter,
need to do that as well.
we need to do that one. We need to do it, because that also helps your credit score. That way, when your credit score is high, you have high opportunity of being offered accommodation when you search for accommodation. Not just the accommodation for renting, but even when time for you to buy the mortgage or to buy anything bigger, you will need that. Yeah. So it's important to search for accommodation immediately you come. It's very difficult to find accommodation.
You're talking about accommodation. Here is somebody that has just come. Ngosa has just arrived, and she doesn't know how to move in the UK. Talk about the transport system. How is it like? what are some of the basic things that I need to know as I'm traveling? Yes.
How to move
Do you
in the
have
UK?
Yango?
My God.
Do we have Yango in the UK?
The only moment I missed those bus conductors and those drivers from back home is when I arrived in UK. You know, when I went back, let me tell you, when I went back right now, I saw a conductor. I was going to town, and then the conductor ran to me, "Hello, Mukwela, Mukwela," and I was like, "My God, you know I missed you a lot." And then he was like, "What do what do you mean you missed me?" I said, "I missed you a lot. Job well done." Those people help 100%. They really help.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first thing what you do with transportation, before I even talk about transport itself, is you have to have a Google Map. Learn how to use your Google Map on your phone. Okay, please be friends with your phone. Learn how to operate a computer. Learn how to operate the Google Map. Learn how to operate whatever. There are a lot of apps that you need on your phone, a lot. Google Maps is one of them. Okay. Then train line, because here they use trains a lot. Okay. Download a train line app on your phone. That way it will be showing you the times, and you can even buy your tickets from there. Then find out about the buses that are being used in your area. If you are in a big city, you are fine, because I think they've got lots of buses. You don't even need to have a bus.
We do it. I'm in Nottingham.
Yeah. But if you are in a country like mine, countryside like mine, here we have only one type of one type. Is it a type? One it's a stagecoach, okay?
Yeah.
So you download stagecoach. Us is just stagecoach. But in some areas they even have got is it National Express? National Express, download that as well. Just find out the transport system in your area, which one is much available, like that is there all the time that they are using. Download that same one. Everything has an app. Even the bank account will have an app. Everything has an app. Just go on Google Play.
You know,
that app.
yeah. You know, I was so shocked. I went into Lloyd's Bank and I was told that, no, you don't have to walk in to open an account. Oh, okay. Back home, would even be queuing up to say, okay, this is the queue to open the account. Here, you just download the app and everything is done online.
Everything. Download an app. They sent me bank at the Barclays Bank. They sent me back. No, you have to do it in your room because we want to use your GPS to locate where you are when you're opening the account. See? So you just
Wow.
have to do that. Make the phone your friend. That's all. Make the phone your friend or laptop, whatever you come with. Make it your friend. Download computer. Learn computer if you've not learned. I suffered because of computer. Like if you go on my YouTube channel, you find I've made that video. On my Facebook page, I think I always talk about it. Yeah. Learn computer if you're not able to. So download those apps, okay? And on those apps, especially if it's a bus app, when you use that app, it will show you when you use Google Maps, I'm sorry, it will show you at each and every bus stop that you need to drop or at each and every station that you need to remain at so that you are not going to get lost. I think you've seen people on TikTok saying, me, my first day in UK, and I'm busy trying to find my location. It's
My
very difficult
location.
to find your way out here. So you will need these apps. Download Google app. I mean, the most phones come with that map, right? They come with that map. Most phones, I think they have that, like just.
It's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
download that, and yeah, it will really help you. So and if you're in the NHS like me, you find that your transport system might offer you a card that you can be paying monthly. Okay. So in my area,
Yeah.
we have a Stagecoach. So they have an agreement with NHS. So we pay at a discounted price. Okay. And that card, you pay it monthly. And then you'll be just tapping your cards throughout the month and they'll be just deducting the money from your pay slip. Okay. So if you're in the NHS, find out about that, how to go about it. Ask people in your, even if they are not your friends, your colleagues at work, ask them, they will help you in certain things that yes. Ask them, they'll tell you, they'll help you. Yeah.
Sorry. Have you already bought yourself a car?
No, I haven't bought myself a
Has
car.
it been easy for you to find a car?
So moving on to the issue of finding a car. If you're from Zimbabwe, you're very lucky because your driver's license from your country, here you will just come and switch it. But if you're from Zambia and some of the countries in Africa, then you are quite disadvantaged like me. So when I came in, I had my own license, but I said I'm not going to buy a car now because I just reached, I still had the euphoria of buying this, buying that, sending money home to that and sending money to that. No, let me sponsor you that, sponsor. Hey, please, money. I think we need a topic of money management. Yeah, so I couldn't buy a car immediately just coming. So the day that you enter the country, they start counting 1 year. Once you clock 1 year, your license cannot operate over here again. So I went to buy a car. When I wanted to buy a car, I went to go there to buy. Then at the time when I wanted to buy, I was already 8 months, I think 9 months in the UK, okay? And the insurance company couldn't accept my license because I was already just remaining with 4 months for the license to expire. So I needed the UK license now.
Yeah.
And because I am from Zambia, which I can't just switch, I have to pass through the lessons all over again. And booking slots for the license, my people in the UK, is tough. It's tough. As I'm speaking to you, in my area, spaces are full all the way up to February next year. For you to do the exam, the theory exam, I mean the practical exam.
Yeah.
Spaces are full up to February. So I found the slot for February. I'm telling you. So now imagine
Wow.
today we are in October and spaces are not available up to, you have the money to buy the car because I think cars here, it depends on what you want. You can find a car for as low as £600, going all the way to whatever amount you want. But also, of course, you know that the £600
Yeah.
will not be that good of a car. Maybe it would have moved miles and miles, and maybe it might not even have an MOT or something. I think one day we'll talk about what to look at when you're looking for a car. So you see, it's really difficult to do it. So when you come, I wish I knew that they start counting at the time I've entered. I would have bought a car the day I entered, so that by the time I'm processing this issue of a license and all, I would have bought a car already, and like that. So for you to be
let me share something with you. For me, my employer had even told us to say that your license is only valid for 12 months. But the Zambian in me kept procrastinating. I kept saying, I'll get the license, I'll get the license, I'll get the license. So this one time I was moving on the road and the police stopped me. I had even forgotten that I've already clocked a year. The police stopped me and they said, Madam, and all your details are computerized. Everything is computerized. So they stopped me. Yes, they stopped me because I had insured my car in the morning. I insured the car in the morning, and then in the morning around 9, and that was around 11. And the lady that I spoke to, from the insurance company, because it was like I was just renewing the insurance. She didn't even bother to check my license and the license details. Yeah, she didn't pay particular attention to that detail. So when the police stopped me at 11, they stopped me because they said my insurance was not showing for the vehicle. So I said, no, I've just insured the car and I had the certificate of insurance. So when I called back, the lady was like, I actually just wanted to call you because your insurance has not gone through. I think there's something wrong with your license. What license are you using? And immediately I knew. I was like, oh my God. So the police officer was just there. That's how they impounded my car. They had to go with the car there and then. There's nothing like, officer, please, dear, I have to go home. I'm heading to a client. I'm a carer.
To get something.
That's what happened to me. Immediately they got my car, they impounded my car. I just had to remove things from the car, and he called the vehicle that had to tow it from where we were. I tried talking to him, but he said, no, you receive letters. And that's it. That's what happened. So here, traffic rules are strict like that, like it's you have to have a license, and your license has to be valid if you have to have a vehicle insured. Yeah.
For it to be insured. And they don't want a license that is almost expiring. They want at least, okay, it has to be a year, but at least it still has a lot of time for it to be expired. That's why they refused me. So yeah, that's why I couldn't. So I buried that issue of driving. For now, I continue using buses, and they are very difficult, honestly. If you are in a countryside, in a small town, in a village, or whatever you want to call it, transport will be difficult. But if you're going to a big city, you'll be advantaged because there are a lot of buses, a lot of taxis. Here in my area, to book a taxi, I have to call 30 minutes earlier before the pickup time. I'm telling you.
That must be stressful.
It's very stressful.
Always running late.
I'm always running late as well. That keeping time is also part of culture shock. Here they keep time. They want you to be at people always go as early as 1 hour to work. I mean, what do I really want? Why should I go 1 hour early to work? But me back home, I used to go 1 hour late.
I'm a culprit.
From 1 hour late to 1 hour early. No. But anyway, I've learned to adapt. Nowadays, like from the time I came, I really try by all means to go there. At least if I'm really late, I'm 3 minutes the time of reporting, but all the time I'm going there 30 minutes earlier. I have tried, really, I've adapted to that. Otherwise, it's very difficult. So if you just miss your bus or your train or whatever it is, then you are doomed. You missed. Just have to wait for the next one, and maybe perhaps they'll even cancel it and everything. It's difficult in a town. Like, it's not as compared to a big city. Transporting.
Wow. This has really, really been interesting. I think we'll need a part 2 of this, Wamundila, where you can give us a glimpse of how you are settling down now and how you are managing. I can see your house there. You seem very relaxed,
It's not easy to get this house, or in the UK, it's not easy to get this house. It can only be God.
Amen. So we just thank God. Yeah, we just thank God that you are now settling down despite all the challenges that you had to encounter. Any word out there, any last words out there for anybody that is trying to get themselves into the UK?
My people, this one I'm really speaking from my heart. When you're still in your country, you hear a lot of stories, okay? You hear a lot of stories that will scare you, that will reduce your desires to move over here. Trust me, don't hear them. Even from what we've discussed right now, let them not discourage you. Okay? These are just to give you some insight of what to expect when you're coming.
That's true.
Not to discourage you. No. Here, the economy is tough. Things are expensive. Okay, where are they not expensive? Are things cheap in my country? I'm from traveling right now. They are very expensive in Zambia right now. I'm telling you, things are expensive. So if they are saying it's tough here in the UK, where is it easy? There's no, it's not easy. At the moment, inflation is high everywhere. Things are tough everywhere. So don't give up because you've heard someone talking about money not being good. Yes, money is not as expected, because when I was told I'm coming here, when they will mention the salary, I'll do the calculation and say, ooh, I'll be getting paid 50,000 kwacha. That's a lot of money. I'm going 50,000. That's salary for ministers in my country. I was like, I'm running. But you know, when you come, your realities hit. A taxi they'll deduct, accommodation will be expensive,
Yeah.
and everything. But even if all those things are there, there is survival mechanisms that are there in each and every country. But life and just everything in general can never be compared to where I'm coming from. I'm telling you, hear it from me. I'm just an NHS who was started on the lowest band salary, but hear it from me, you can still survive. I've got children, I've got families, I've got, extended family in Africa, but you can still survive, you can still live. So don't listen from whatever anyone anywhere will say. Come and see things for yourself. If you fail to survive after you've seen all those things, go back. But all those people that you hear discourage you, ask them, have you gone back to your country? Or what are you still doing in a place that is very difficult?
Very
If you are
difficult.
failing to survive, what are you still doing there? Ask them that question, and that's it. They will not even answer you. Don't hear what people are saying. Come and see things for yourself. Push hard, work hard. One day you will achieve your goal. Don't give up.
So much. That was Wamundila, the nurse, all the way from West Africa in Zambia. And lovely to have had you on this podcast.
South Africa.
Did I say South Africa? All the way from
You
Zambia.
said West Africa, Southern Africa.
What I wanted to say was Wamundila from Western Province of Zambia.
I see.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I see. Yes, Western Zambia, Lozi power.
Lozi power, Lozi woman. And you seem to be doing very well with yourself. And thank you so much for being informative, even on your Facebook page. Your Facebook page name is Wamundila. You're using TikTok as Wamundila. YouTube, you're using Wavei Wamundila. Very informative topics that you bring up out there. And that's how I got to know about you. I was like, wow, I would like to bring this lady and this Zambian powerful nurse onto my podcast so that she can just give us a glimpse of her life as a newcomer in the UK. Thank you very much, Wamundila, for accepting to participate on this show and just sharing with us your experiences. I'm very grateful. God bless you.
The pleasure was mine. The pleasure was mine. Thank you. God bless you too.